Colleagues, in circumstances like this, we need to listen to each other. I appreciate the anger. And any well-meaning Ugandan will appreciate the anger. But what is the cause of the anger? Let us diagnose where the problem is. All of us know, and I'm sure the landed Attorney General knows, that that concession was badly negotiated. It is basic. All these problems you are seeing is because of bad negotiation. And the reason can only be two: incompetence or bad manners, or both. Bad manners is also about collusion or corruption. But we are committed to an agreement. We are committed to an agreement. And once you get committed to an agreement, lawyers call it legal obligations. We have legal obligations. And we need to examine the obligation we have under that very unfair agreement. If we breach those obligations, what happens? That is the opportunity cost I think Oguzili was talking about. What is the consequences of us breaching the legal obligations of that agreement? Because the agreement is bad. Don't even bother yourself to... We have debated this, and indeed we debated it when the both committee brought that their report. We debated this in detail. In detail. And between now and the last day, we have how many days? 9 days. Less than 10 days. Where we must sort out all this mess. Is it possible to sort out this mess in the 9 days? And two, it is not a wish, but we are talking about professional sorting out the mess. Whether it is possible for the Auditor General to bring a report here on the 28th. Did he ask up 28th? 28th, and we will have 2 days within which the Minister of Finance...
Honorable Katuntu, 28th will be a Saturday, a Friday. 29th will be a Saturday. 30th will be a Sunday.
So really, we have no time. And to me, and I really implore upon you, colleagues, let us look at the consequences of the decision we are about to make. To the people of Uganda, the people of Uganda got a road deal. Are we going to continue in that road deal? Are we going to continue wasting good money? It is not reasonable on our part. We must cut our losses, and now. We must cut our losses, and now. And let the minister tell us, actually the chairman of the committee, in figures, if we don't perform our obligation according to the contract by 30th, the first payment, what percentage do we talk about?
10%.
10%. And the 10% of the worst case scenario is $19 million. $19 million. We are not joking with small money. And we cannot be emotional when we are talking about serious public issues. 19 million. I'll take the information.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The penalties we will pay just to... Yes, if we fail to pay by the 31st, it will be 10% for the first 30 to 45 days, 15% 46 to 90 days, and 20% after 91 days.
First of all,
information.
You sit. You sit. Sit. You sit. You're a member of the committee. Yes, Haji.
So, the first The first is 10%, and it is incremental. And the worst case scenario is $19 million. Why are we paying the $19 million? Because we are blaming people who have sat on their job. And because they have sat on their job, the taxpayer pays $19 million is close to 35 billion shillings. Colleagues, I think...
Honorable colleagues, please listen.
Actually, it's more than 35 billion. So to me, it comes almost 70 billion. Almost 70 billion. And that's the sort of money we are talking about. Colleagues, we now need to see what can we do seriously about people who didn't do their job or who did their job badly. That's what we should be looking at. As far as the contract is concerned, I thought our rules are very clear when somebody is speaking.
Yes.
I am a little bit informed, Honorable Otala, please. And I'm sure you know I'm informed. So, colleagues, the anger we should direct it to the correct people. And we can fold it up. We can really fold it up. Who did what? Who sat on what? And we can take any decision to have those people account. But as far as the contracts are concerned, let us not breach the contract deliberately, knowing the consequences. I thank you, Right Honorable.
Honorable Mutembule, there is a motion.
Thank you very much.
There is a motion.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand to move a motion that we support the initial motion raised on this table by the Right Honorable Minister of Finance.
By the Minister of Finance.
By the Minister of Finance, in order for us to back and support the loan, which to approve the loan, and we disregard the committee report which has been brought to this House. Thank you.
Is the motion seconded? Seconded by Faith, by Max, by Ogwang, by Okiror, by both, by Okumu, by Ayo, Dr. Mushemesa, Ibanda, Kilak.
Madam Speaker, there is no motion. He has just said we support.
He put a motion that you didn't finish your motion. He finished the motion. You're only being biased. You repeat it.
The motion is that we support the initial motion put on the table by the Minister of Finance, and we disregard the committee report so that we process the loan and we pass it.
Seconded? Yes. And it is still seconded by both passes, Honorable Internal Affairs, Okumu, Alanyo, Ibanda, Apoloto, Ochwa, Shema, Lira, Apache, Max, Arua, Noah. Honorable members, Orone, Joan, Mariam, Kumi Municipality, Susan, Dr. Pear, Nekesa, honorable members, there is also Nabila Tuk. Honorable members, I am still putting the question. Was there no motion? Attorney General, was there no motion?
I had a motion that they
Which
support
motion?
the motion by the minister to approve the loan and disregard the report. That's the motion I had.
Are you on a motion?
Yes.
Madam Speaker.
Lee,
Before you came, I
don't really. Lee? Yes,
I move that the motion. I move, Right Honourable Speaker, I move that the question be put on the motion by the Minister in regards to the loan amount which has been brought to the House. A motion which is a motion to borrow up to euro equivalent of US dollars 190,988,566 from Stanbic Bank for the Omeme Limited buyout. Thank you.
Seconded. The seconders will still be there. Orone, Maxi, Noah, Maureen, Peter, Namganza, Okumu, Ogwang. Honorable members, I put a question at the motion for a resolution of Parliament to authorize government to borrow up to euros equivalent of USD 190,998,556 from Stanbic Bank for the Umeme Limited buyout be approved by this House with amendments. With the amendments, those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Next.
Item 7 on the order paper. Motion for a resolution of Parliament to support the deployment of the Uganda People's Defence Forces in the Republic of South Sudan under the Memorandum of Understanding on Defence Cooperation and Status of Forces Agreement executed between the Republic of Uganda and the Republic of South Sudan.
Honorable members, as you may be aware, our neighbors in the Republic of South Sudan are currently faced with some civil unrest for which our troops, the UPDF, have been invited to help with the stabilization of the situation. I want to invite the Minister to move the motion.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I rise to move a motion for a resolution of Parliament to support the deployment of the Uganda People's Defence Forces in the Republic of South Sudan under the Memorandum of Understanding on Defence Cooperation and the Status of Forces Agreement executed between the Republic of Uganda and the Republic of South Sudan.
Say, Chinga, you're disturbing us.
Right Honourable Speaker, I move under Section 39 of the Uganda People's Defence Forces Act, Cap 330, and Rule 59(1)K of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, of this Parliament. Whereas Article 210D of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda mandates Parliament to make laws regulating the Uganda People's Defence Forces, including the deployment of troops outside Uganda. And whereas Section 39 of the Uganda People's Defence Forces Act provides that where troops are to be deployed outside Uganda and a multilateral or bilateral arrangement with other countries, the minister shall enter into a status of forces agreement with the host country or organization. Noting that on the 10th of January 2014, the Republic of Uganda, in accordance with Section 39 of the Uganda People's Defence Forces Act, entered into a Memorandum of Understanding on Defence Cooperation and the Status of Forces Agreement with the Republic of South Sudan relating to the deployment of the Uganda People's Defense Forces on the territory of South Sudan, aware that there is a security-related development in the Republic of South Sudan, which is likely to result into serious negative security implications for Uganda and has potential to create a ripple effect on the economic, social, and political stability of Uganda, the region, and Africa at large. Further aware that on 10th of March 2025, in accordance with the Memorandum of Understanding on Defense Cooperation and Status of Forces Agreement, His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, requested His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, for urgent military support in order to avert a potential security catastrophe in South Sudan, noting that following the request by His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda has, in accordance with Article 98(1) of the Constitution and Section 39(1)(b), 38(1)(b), and 39 of the Uganda People's Defense Forces Act, deployed the Uganda People's Defense Forces in the Republic of South Sudan in order to avert a security catastrophe in the region. Appreciating that the deployment of the Uganda People's Defense Forces in South Sudan has previously enabled and will continue to enable the stabilization of security, peace, enforcement, protection of lives, and prevention of further escalation of conflict in the Republic of South Sudan, which is beneficial to Uganda, the region, and Africa at large. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Parliament of Uganda supports the deployment of the Uganda People's Defense Forces in the Republic of South Sudan under the Memorandum of Understanding on Defense Cooperation and the Status of Forces Agreement executed between the Republic of Uganda and the Republic of South Sudan. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, I beg to move.
Seconded. Seconded. Seconded by Honorable Olanya Gilbert, by Gerald, by Emmanuel, by Nancy, by Lamwaka, by Amero, by Mariam, by Joan, by Wakas, Odero, Tusime, Okot, Kumi Municipality, Mbwa, Honorable Mbwa, Honorable Yusuf Butaleja, Busia, Acrobat, Ik, Honorable Kasolo. I always fear mentioning your name. Honorable Akamba, Honorable Mohoma, Honorable Tony, Honorable Kabong, Karenga,
Karenga.
Sechi, Honorable Sechi, Honorable Muze Kagabo, Honorable Ibanda, Honorable Esther, Nekesa, Alanyo, Okwalinga, Okumo, Wilson, Abim, Elders, the General, by the whole side of this side. Can you second speak to your motion?
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members of this House, early March of this year, fighting started at the Ethiopian border of South Sudan in Nasiri. His Excellencies Salva Kiir, the President of the Republic of South Sudan, made a formal request seeking for urgent support of our forces following that conflict. Consequently, His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, deployed, and the Commander-in-Chief deployed the Uganda People's Defense Forces for a peace enforcement mission. Right Honorable Speaker, the President's decision was based on the mandate given to him by the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, 1995, and the Uganda People's Defense Forces Act, as quoted in the motion. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the President's decision to deploy UPDF, Uganda People's Defense Forces, to South Sudan was also based on Uganda's commitment to patriotism, nationalism, and Pan-Africanism. Uganda also has a long-standing role in safeguarding the lives and property of Ugandans and Africans at large through strategic military interventions in various countries across the continent of Africa. Right Honorable Speaker, the deployment of the UPDF in South Sudan was also done in a spirit of brotherhood, solidarity, security of Uganda, and the economy, as well as the shared historical and regional ties between Uganda and South Sudan. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members of this House, I therefore request this August House to support this motion for a resolution of Parliament to support the deployment of our troops in the Republic of South Sudan. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Oboth. First, second, you first wait.
Thank you.
Wilson, you'll second, don't worry. Let me first hear from the neighbor, because he's a neighbor to South Sudan.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, rightly you put it, my district borders South Sudan. And putting politics aside on this matter, Right Honourable Speaker, anyone who comes from the north, especially Acholi and West Nile, would highly support the deployment of the UPDF inside South Sudan. Right Honourable Speaker, I'd like to explore our colleagues from this side. The majority may not be knowing what is going on. Our brothers from South Sudan, they are quite merciless. It seems they are not all that professional in handling guns.
Honorable, Honorable, to avoid other issues, diplomatic issues, let's be fair in whatever we say for diplomacy.
Thank you.
And I want to request members that I will not allow a lot of debate on this matter for the sake of the safety of our members out there and for the sake of our relationship with that country. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for the guidance. Right Honourable Speaker, I welcome your guidance, but for the sake of peace of the people of Uganda, especially those ones from northern Uganda, and those ones who are carried on businesses in South Sudan, let us support the deployment. The deployment is for the betterment of our country. Therefore, I explore our colleagues, let us highly support, and as a country, peace in South Sudan will mean peace in our country as Uganda.
Thank you, thank you. Honorable members, I am very, very mindful of the issue of security, issue of diplomacy, issue of our relationship. I now want to put a question that the motion for a resolution of Parliament to support the deployment of the Uganda People Defense Forces in the Republic of South Sudan under the Memorandum of Understanding on Defense Cooperation and the status of forces agreement executed between the Republic of Uganda and the Republic of South Sudan be adopted by this House. Those in favor say the ayes have it. House adjourned sundown.